So this is Euro USD. Someone asked me to do a top-down analysis here, and then we look at Kill-Shot and how we applied the Kill-Shot to give us an entry for the buy that we're looking at apparently. So this is the weekly time frame and it's all squeezed. And I said you have to look at the significant levels where price is turning from. So we identify support and resistance. Now this is normal stuff. You guys can see that. So after identifying them, we try to edit the prices, and I want us to be organized. So 1.05 psychological prices 1.15. So this is a difference of 1,000 pips. So the next tool I told you guys you should be using is, once you have a perfect range here, you're going to be using the price range tool to give you where the next price range, the next ranging level would be. So let's look through. So now, if you have the market ranging like here, okay, and then probably let's say this is the current market situation, okay. If price is to break above here, you're going to find that the next market is going to start ranging. It's going to range within that same level. Do you see how awesome it looks? So then, someone has put me on loud. You drop this as there as well, you know? Then you do the editing. So I'm going to keep it at 1.25. Okay? And the same thing, you probably do it here. Like if price is to break below here, you know it's going to go as far as that. So this is what you have. Is this okay? I think this is fine. So then you do off the price, the ranging tool thing. You do it off. So now this is what I have. This is what I have. So I know that I have a swing low here and a swing high there. So market has been into that bullish move and then now it's selling. First things first, look at the trend and then you see that the current trend is really bearish, okay? We're into the bearish market. But now when you look at the bearish market, where is price approaching? Price was approaching this support level. And why did price actually fall as low as this? Now, this is where you first start by dropping your Fibonacci from this low to that high to understand what's happening. So you basically can see that you don't really have any technical reasons, and even the Fibonacci levels are still way high. You have nothing in support of whatever is happening. All you have in mind now when you zoom this market is that once price reaches around this level, it's going to be a strong support level. It's going to be very hard for the market to make a move below that zone. Is that okay, guys? So how do we now apply Kill-Shot to get an entry? Assuming, how did you apply? I'm going to look at the last 1 week, which is this one, and show you how we got an entry for this buy. First things first, you look at price around here. This is a bearish candlestick, and the next candlestick is giving us a bullish engulfing candlestick. It's a price action for a price reversal. Is that okay? So first things first, we mark the wicks. This wick, whatever, we mark the wicks and the close, the candle close. So this is the wick we're going to mark. This is the wick we're going to mark. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yes. These are the wicks we're going to mark. You see that those are the levels. This body and the body of that, they're almost at the same place as to this, the wick of this. So they almost level up. So you use one level for them. The next thing now is to edit these prices. I mean, we have a round legit price, 6.5. Doesn't it look nice?
Yeah.
775. Okay.
Looks fine.
1-1. What was it?
370.
Let me see again. It's 11371. So 375. Or you can put 113, 114. Okay. Is that okay? Now, this is good. Okay. We've already done with the weekly, and actually, we already know that there is a reason why price is going to be rejecting from here. So these are some of the things now you apply your technical analysis, which me, I cannot help you on all, because apparently for me, I also had this market into this kind of channel. Okay. I don't know whether you guys also heard it, but the market was into that kind of channel, you know. So I know that probably market could have rejected from anywhere around this zone, but you don't force it. Of course, you don't force it. What is important is that the market has given us price action already. Do you see that? This is price action for a bullish market. Now, how do we get an entry on that level? Before you ask yourself that, now you need to ask yourself, why did price leave this week on the weekly? Why? When you ask yourself that, you're probably now going to apply the what? The Fibonacci. Are we guys okay? I say once you've seen the price action now, you can apply a Fibonacci on the last candle, on this one candlestick, to know why price reacted from here. Do you see that? So when I have this candlestick, boom, Fibonacci. Okay, I now know that price is coming around the 78.6. So now what do I need to do? I probably might consider putting this here.
70.
Put this here. Then I edit the price, have a good price. Maybe 1.8. Okay, I keep it there. Then I remove this Fibonacci now. At the back of my mind, I now know this is a small zone. This is EURUSD. I remove these lines because I want to be neat. So when I edit this, you can probably edit this and make sure you have it at 7, 7, 8, and then 7, 5, I think. Okay, we can keep it like that. So now, at the back of your mind, you know that you've seen a bullish engulfing, but for you, you're only willing to wait for some correction because this movement was very heavy, okay? You know that market has to at least correct to some level before it goes back. So now that's where the kill shot is going to help you. And the fact is now, you have these levels marked, okay? Price rejecting from this level. In fact, let me just use this line. To be precise, let me use this line. Let me use that line and let me remove this thing. I really want my chart to be neat. I want my chart to be clean, organized, just like anyone's. Because when you look at my chart, you're probably going to be like, wow, this guy's analysis looks so clean. How can I even have the sum? So now I know that price has been reacting from the 78.6 At the back of my mind, I know that this is the first rejection. Now I go to the daily time frame and start looking whether these price levels that I've marked make sense. I've gone to the daily. So I'm at the daily. You guys see that? Okay, do you guys see that? This is the low I had,
Yeah.
this is the high. Now you probably know that price is trying to create a second touch onto, it's trying to create a bullish trend, which most people wouldn't have seen. Do you see that? So, okay, this is not really necessary. But what I'm trying to give you is that when you use the Fibonacci tool well, you can always spot where price is going to touch second before continuing up. Okay? So now you come in and look at these levels. Does it make sense? You look at this week, you look at this week, and you look at this week. You're like, yes, it makes sense, right? This is Friday, this is Thursday, this is Wednesday, this is Tuesday, this is Monday. But last Friday, you saw price rejecting. Did you guys see this? This one. So as you move to a lower time frame, which is now the H4 where you have to stop analyzing from, you will come and see the same damn thing that we talk about. First bus, second bus. Price touching here, rejecting, price coming back, and then you finding the entry you want. See how simple it is. Now again, I say you can always enter the market in two ways. You either enter from here, which we did, or you wait for this candlestick to close inside or above this level. Then you try to draw a Fibonacci and you wait for, you see where it's going to correct to. Let me show you again. If I drop my Fibonacci, in case I did not take the first buy, I drop my Fib from here. You know, if I drop my Fib from, I probably would be having something like that. You see, price came down to 61.8 here, and then still gave you a very good entry and took that market up. So what am I looking at now? Let's analyze for the coming week. Okay, we clean this up. We clean this up. Okay, then we go back to the weekly. Okay, because now we're trying to look at the next week. Where do we think price is going to move at? Now, this is not a very good example because the next week, I'm looking at price. Okay, let's use it. We are going to, again, have to consider, let us clear all this. We're going to have to look at the last 2 or 3 candlesticks. So we mark them again. Boom, boom. If you want the body, I'm not going to mark this body, but you can also mark them. Then the body of this candlestick is always important to me. That one I will mark it. And the wick. Since the body and the wick are not so far from each other, my focus now is very simple. Since I'm already bullish on this market, all I'm trying to wait for is for a clear break and retest of this zone. Who has not understood? Because now, of course, you know that your first level would also be here. So your first TP is probably there. Then maybe if you break this and test it, you go up. Who did not see that?
You can repeat that.
I'm saying now, the kill shot for this week is we have analyzed, we have marked this week, we have marked this body one. Then we also would have marked this, right? So what do we expect? Since the market is bullish, we expect this week to be broken, of course, and then retested, okay? Before we see the market go back up. So let's go to a lower time frame and we try to look through. Do the kill shot there as well. Now, this is what I'm looking at. You really have to be very careful with this level. Don't be surprised to see even price trying to screw you up and even come down here. Because remember, this is still a kill shot level. Are we together? And then another way you could probably get an entry now, since the market is starting to trend to the bullish side, you should have that thing in mind. So probably you might see market coming here or before going up. Then now you know you're going to have the trend line like that. So what do you do in order not to miss these things? How do you get all these entries? How do you get all these entries without missing? Without missing them? You need to be having an alarm clock or an alarm on your phone. Have an alarm at set an alarm on your phone for midnight. Set an alarm for 4 a.m. Set an alarm for 8 a.m. Set an alarm for midday. Set an alarm for 4 p.m. Set an alarm for 8 p.m. Okay? When you set these alarms are in respect to the H4, okay? After every H4 close or new H4 open, okay? Let's assume you had an alarm here for this close. You wouldn't really miss this trade. You wouldn't really miss that trade. Like assuming this was H4. Let me move to H4 actually to move to H4. And then I can show you how you get these trades. So this is what you would have done. You see this 16? This, by the time the market was closing here, this H4 was closing. Your alarm would ring because this was midday. It was at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So for you, once you have an alarm and then you check through the pair and you see it's already at an interesting level, you keep an eye onto those levels, and that is how you don't miss the trades. You go through all the pairs that you're expecting to have a setup on. So basically, that's how you do the kill shots, and that's what you look at. So now, when you look at H4, look at this. This is a bearish engulfing. It's not good. You see this? Bearish engulfing candlestick. It indicates a reversal kind of movement, okay? So you really have to be very keen here. This is a decision level. That's why when you're around the decision level, don't hurry to enter a trade. Don't hurry to enter a trade because sometimes you screw up. Wait for the market to show you price action. Wait for a retest, and then if it tells you to sell, then you can sell. One thing about the USD pairs, I'm going to tell you, for every USD pair that you're analyzing, first try to analyze the DXY. It's going to tell you how the dollar is going to be performing in most cases. In most cases, it's the reverse of Euro USD. So basically, you can see this, and then let's see. Let's see. You probably can see where market is coming from. The market is coming from a very dangerous position. This was a very strong resistance. And now the market to me is probably trying to form maybe, a head and shoulder kind of pattern. So if you know that you expect the dollar to be weak, then you also probably expect to see strength in Euro USD. So these are some of the things you need to look at. This is a block, so you don't need to ignore them. I cannot show you everything now, but this is what you need to do or what you need to know. Then let me look at this on the weekly. Yeah, you guys can see that we still have a long way. Even if the dollar is on an uptrend, it has to first correct up to this level, at least down here, before maybe breaking this zone. So I'm expecting a weak dollar again for the next week, which means I'm going to be looking more onto the buys of the Euro USD and GBP USD. That's why when you look at GBP USD, you probably see that it's not yet done. It has only moved like 1,000 pips. We still have 1,000 pips from here to here to cover. And I'm still positive. I'm still positive. It doesn't change the trend, but it just tells us that price could still come and touch this trend line. Okay? So that's what we have. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know.